Please welcome Cherie Ford to the show.
I always knew one day I would have a youth program or a youth facility or something.
And so I was just actually learning how to make books look realistic.
Okay.
And so that's how that started.
Let's talk about it.
Now, because I know you brought a lot
Yeah,
of artwork.
I didn't know what to do. I
That's
didn't know
all
what
right.
to say.
Like I said, bring whatever was inspiring you, and this is and this is nice.
Thank you. So I have this thing with the rainbow.
Okay.
And I've always had it. I love the colors. I love the rainbow. And I started off with this.
First of all, do I have it up?
Yes, you have it the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
and for a buyer, I would say they could put it however, let me see. Yeah, they can put it however they want. I actually put the hangers on the top. So yes, you have it the way that I consider it being
Okay, so
the
some
right
people
way.
they can just
They can put it
put
however they want
this
to
way.
on their
Okay.
walls.
Okay. All right. So is
but
this the same thing with the
It's acrylic pour.
Right.
I do that. I actually laid the black and white down first,
okay.
and then I go one color at a time by I use like squirt bottles, like little, and I just go one color at a time. Sometimes there's multiple colors, so there might be
Right.
two shades of pink here
Right.
with red, and then
Okay.
I just go down the line, with whatever colors I feel like is gonna match with that. And then with this one, I believe I did a little bit of everything. Like I probably did the tilt on this one, and I probably also did some blowing out with the hair dryer.
Okay, so with the tilt for the unexperienced artist
Okay.
people
So
that
the
don't
tilt.
understand, so the tilt is when you putting the paint on here, you doing
Yes, and you just move it until
Okay.
you're happy with where the paint is moving.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and then a lot of the times it's all in your your composition. Like, what do you want it to be composed into? That's why it's art. You can kind of like move it and make it go wherever you want it to go. Like, there's certain areas that I didn't like, so I actually put more white, and so it would give it a little bit more balance to the painting. Yeah.
So does the kids sometimes say, "Why it's perfect, Mom? Why are you doing this? Or why are you doing that?" Does your husband say something like that? to you?
No, they just go, "Oh, that's cool."
That's cool.
That's cool,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So, I mean, I think that they really are proud of me in that sense. I remember my middle son, he's 25, he's in the Army now, but I remember when he used to come home, before he went to the Army, he used to come home from work or come home, he'd be like, "You serious? Every time I see you, you sitting here working."
Right.
Because in the beginning, I had this little corner space in the living room. And then that corner space kind of grew into a space because my husband let me get rid of the couch.
Right.
He got let me get rid of all the furniture in the living room. And so I made the living room.
Your art
And
studio.
when he did that,
Uh-huh.
that let me know I was doing something.
Right.
When he said, "Take over the living, go ahead, take over the living room, do you?" He let me take everything out of that living room and create a space for myself to be able to be creative.
Right.
He's very supportive in those ways. He may not say a whole lot. He may not do a whole lot. But when I ask him, "Hey, what do you think about me taking the couches out so I can," he go ahead. That let me know that he supports what I'm doing.
Right.
And so it went from the little corner space to the living room. And then our son moved out and we started redoing our house. And I just told my son, once he had his apartment, he said, I told him, "You're not getting this room back. It's mine."
That's it.
And I took it. So
I
I
had to
have
sleep on a painter's table if you
you
come
know
back.
that commercial when they come back and their room was a closet?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's it.
But our kids need that kind of encouragement.
Right.
When you grow them up, you push them out,
Yeah.
they need to know it's okay to be gone and they got to figure it out just like we did.
Yeah, that's what
So-
my mom used to say. I need a lot of fire up under you.
Hey,
Yeah,
so I
good.
told them, "This is my room now. You can't have it back."
That's it. That's right.
So I got one more son on his way out, and his room is in jeopardy.
Wow.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah. Now, where is this one painting? You know I can't keep my eyes off of. And the only reason why I'm saying it because I am, my goodness, let me tell you, I am a Laker diehard fan.
okay.
I've been a Laker fan, and a lot of people if you're a Laker fan, you'll know who Gary Vitti is.
That's it.
Gary Vitti is a team doctor.
Oh, wow.
But he's
Okay.
he's the bald head guy.
Okay.
I've been a Laker fan since he had hair.
Oh, wow. That's
Okay,
a long time.
all the way back when they was at the Great Western Forum.
Okay.
I was in the stands when I was in the nosebleed sections, but I was there when
You was there.
yeah, I was
It don't
there
matter,
when,
you was
when
there.
Marvin Gaye sung the national anthem.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
this, and I look, and then it's like each year they bring in a player that every fan can relate to.
Okay.
Like my brothers, they related to Magic Johnson, Kareem, Byron Scott,
Right, right.
all them other people. And I knew of the Lakers. I knew I was a Laker fan, but I couldn't name all the players like my brother was
Right.
doing. And
See, that's me. I'm kind of a Laker fan.
Yeah.
I can't name them all.
yeah, but that was back then. But now
Now-
it's like
now you do know all.
Now then when we had Shaq, and then we had Kobe, and Paul Gasol, and Derek Fisher, and all our other people. And if you see my refrigerator at home, trust me, I have all those on here. So, what inspires you to paint this particular picture?
Okay, so this one too, it also started off as an acrylic pour. And, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never liked the colors purple and gold together. But this does not stem, this is not a Laker thing.
Give me a minute.
This is not a Laker thing.
Okay.
This is not a Laker thing. I graduated from Dominguez High School,
Okay.
and we were not Linwood High School fans at all.
Right.
It was burn the wood all day.
Okay.
And so even when I was younger, I'll go even younger before I became a Dominguez Don, I used to cheer for Greater Compton. And that was a youth league,
Right.
a youth football league in Compton.
Like Snoop Dogg has
Yeah.
a football league. Okay.
Uh-huh. So, and Linwood back then
Right.
was just a rival.
Right.
So it wasn't just purple and gold, it was also green and gold because we didn't like Polly and we didn't like the LA demos. So, yeah, so
Y'all just
it was,
haters.
this is a color thing. So it goes way back to the dirt, okay?
Okay.
So, anyhow, I don't know what, at first I picked purple and gold and I started doing just a painting to see what it would look like. This purple, black, and gold and this white, and it looked so nice.
Right.
And Kobe had just passed,
Right.
and I just all of a sudden it was like, see if you can make some basketballs on there. And I started with the basketballs, and I just started seeing things like I could step back from a painting because usually an acrylic pour, like without all the extra stuff on it, if you step back from it long enough and just look at it, you can start
visually
seeing.
Okay. Yeah.
You can actually start seeing stuff. So that's kind of like what happened. I started seeing things that I could actually put in certain places.
Right.
And I would see it and put it. And so the basketball started. And then I did Kobe. I was like, I wonder if I could draw a picture of Kobe. Right. So I made a like a stencil of a silhouette.
Right.
And so it was something that I found, and I just kind of blew it up and made a stencil of it.
Right.
And put it on there. And then I also have, because a lot of people miss it, but Gigi's right there.
Yeah. I was when I said two, and I know I seen that one, and I
see the
said two, and then I seen her hair. Okay. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure. I said it's not Kobe because
No.
the two would have been over here. This would have been the four. So I'm like, okay, so that's her, and then her hair looked like butterflies, or like a tomato plant or something like that. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so it was almost like, to me, when I step back from it, I look at it like, because he was doing a lot, I heard, with a nonprofit organization and all that stuff. He was doing a lot. And I was really angry when he died because I was like, look, he had a heart to do something for these kids. Right. And, when you grow up and you say, okay, like me, I have a heart to do something for some kids. I want to do it.
Right.
You want to see it out. You want to, and I saw him kind of like, almost just like not being able to finish.
Right.
Which was not fair, and that was to me, but who's to say God knows best.
Right.
But he was there, and I said, you know what, when I put him there, to me, I felt like he got a chance, he gets a chance to enjoy his daughter and if it's almost like they're playing in heaven,
Right.
or he's coaching in heaven. And I have there the Mamba,
Yeah, I see that.
Mamba 8, and then the 24 out. It says Mamba out.
Right.
The 24 over there in the
Yeah,
ball.
and I see how you made the T. Number out.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I like how you checking that out. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, man. I kind of wish I would have ended with this one before I go to
Well,
that
you
one,
on a good page.
but
You on a good page.
huh?
You still on a good road though.
Okay,
Don't worry,
I'm
it's
just-
gonna all mesh.
Okay, I was just saying. But this is an excellent painting, and
Thank you.
whatever and that price you quoted me, keep it at that price.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Because this painting means a lot, and
I feel like
for
it does.
and for the correct buyer, you might even get more if
Yeah.
somebody has all his memorabilia and all his stuff with his daughter and stuff.
Funny thing, I sent it. Somebody told me send it to Vanessa, and I did through Instagram. Never got nothing back, but maybe one day
Yeah.
after she gets through going, because I know it's probably gonna take her a while
Yeah,
to get
a
through.
long while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't hold that against anybody. It's not time yet,
No,
and
it's
so
not
it'll keep going back up on my wall
Yeah.
until the right person comes along and
Your
wants it.
husband's not like a fan?
He is, but he's. You know what? My husband knows me. That if I
Right.
sell this to somebody and if I need to do it again,
You can.
I can. I
Yeah.
can do it again. Maybe not exactly,
Yeah.
but I can do it again. And that's what I promise people. Like, I can do you another one on a different scale, on the same scale. It may not be this exactly,
Yeah.
And I'm also looking for somebody who can do prints for me as well. I have somebody who can do them, but right now he's out. And I'm looking for somebody who can actually do prints for me.
What do you mean by prints? I'm sorry.
Prints. So like, let's say if somebody didn't want to pay the price for
you
this
can do
original,
okay, you can do
I
the-
can
the-
actually do prints
Okay.
for them, and I can sell it at a smaller price, at a cheaper price.
Okay.
In a print form.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I do my prints, because I have sold prints. As a matter of fact, that's a print. That's not even the original to that one. The original to that one is a little smaller. But the prints, as you can see, what I do is I go in back and embellish it, and I bring back the color to it, and I just kind of bring it back to life to make it look more like the original. And then I either put a clear varnish on it, or I put the resin on it to kind of protect it. But yeah.
So that's why because I'm a Pawn Star freak. I watch Pawn Star, and guys come in and they think they have an original painting, and they want so much money for it. I'm like, well, let me have my artist expert come in, and because he said sometimes people have a fake copy, or they have a copy, and sometimes it's the original.
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
sometimes they say the original is hard to tell from a copy because the way computers are now, how they high resolution, how they can have high color in certain areas, and they can make it look
exactly like
the original.
That's why I'm looking for a good printer, because, well, I'm not going to say the printer I have is not good. It's just that he has another job, and the things that he does, I think he just does it the best way he can for right now. But I'm actually looking for someone who can actually take my paintings, and when they do print them out, that there's very little that I need to do when it comes down to the embellishments.
When you got here, you brought your artwork in.
Yes.
And as we were setting up, as soon as he put that painting up there, you was like, I hope he leaves that right there, because that's where I want it. So kind of take us through the painting and why you wanted that painting, why you wanted this to stay exactly right there.
Okay. Well, so this painting here, it just started off as one of those paintings where I started off with just doing colors in the background, picking colors that I liked, and started doing a simple circular process just to see if I could blend.
Okay.
And blend it, the way that I wanted it to look. Because this kind of happened when I first started painting. Because I didn't even get to that, but when I started, when this actual painting started coming out was 2018.
Okay.
And I was actually asked by my daughter-in-law if I would do a paint party for her sister.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't paint. And she goes, yeah, you do. You can draw, you can paint. I'm like, no, it's two different things.
Yes.
And she goes, no, but you can do it, and I'm never say I can't. So I said, okay, well, let me look at some stuff. So I went and YouTubed and Googled and did all this stuff. And I started practicing on some paintings and did a tree. She wanted me to do a tree. And I did the tree in the colors they asked for. They liked it. And they said, yeah, this is what we want you to do. So I said, okay. And so I did this paint party, and it was wonderful. And it was 40 people.
Okay.
And I wish I would have brought that video, but it was cool because everybody did what I told them to do.
Right.
Like I said, it was my first time ever doing this.
Right.
And when I went, I didn't have to pay for anything. They just said, okay, we'll get everything. They got the easels, they got the paint, they got everything. All I had to do was show up.
Right.
And I did it. And it came out so wonderful. And then like about a couple of days later, she called me and she said, would you do this for money? And I'm like, huh? And she's like, would you do it for money? I'm like, I guess. Why? And she said, because people want to book you. They said they had a ball. They really loved the way you did,
Right.
the whole thing. It wasn't like any other paint party they had been to. And I was
Right.
like, really? Like, yeah, because I'd never been to a paint party.
Okay.
I just did it. I
Right.
did it with who I am and what I do.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, fine. And about 2 weeks later or so, I think me and my husband, no, it was about a couple months later because that was in September. And about December, me and my husband, we celebrated our anniversary and we went to Vegas. And I'm laying on the bed and I'm thinking about this paint party stuff and I'm going, okay, I'm going to try it. I said, I need to get me some cards to hand
Right.
out.
Right.
And as soon as I said that, this commercial comes up about business cards.
Right.
So I said, fine. I went on that website, and the website was acting up.
Right.
And so I couldn't get on there. And all of a sudden, Vistaprint comes to mind. So
Right.
I said, okay, well, let me go to Vistaprint. And I went to Vistaprint, created me some copies, and I started doing paint parties.
Right.
So did a paint party for Christmas for my cousins, for our family gathering, and that turned out wonderful.
Right.
I did a paint party for a few other people, and then I was called to do a paint party for a church. It wasn't really a paint party; it was a marriage conference,
Right.
and they had these different workshops. And she
Right.
said, "Well, we want you to do a workshop with paint. What do you have?" And so I actually did a workshop for married couples.
Okay.
And all this was back in 2018. Here
Right.
we are in 2022.
Right.
And so I did a workshop for married couples. And the painting I did was of a tree.
Okay.
And it's two trees. So what actually happens at the marriage paint session
Right.
is that you have a husband and a wife.
Right.
They only get one. They get one canvas.
Okay.
They get one set of brushes. They have to share everything.
Right.
Okay. And so the object is to get them to work together.
Right.
All right. And so the painting that they get, they're instructed to pick their favorite colors and to start painting together simultaneously until those colors come together.
Right.
And they're supposed to blend those colors together.
Okay.
And that right there represents that when two come together,
the unity.
nothing should be able to separate them.
Right. Because it's paint. It
Right.
can't be separated.
Right.
Right.
And so then what I do is I have the husband take the painting. He's taking the lead now. And he'll take the painting and he'll turn it over to where his painting, his favorite color, is covering her favorite color.
Right.
And they're connected in the middle
Right.
by the union that they have with
Right.
God.
Okay.
So after that, I'll have them, what I usually have them do is paint like a foundation. So it pretty much looks like rocks or whatever.
Right.
And it's like a foundation. And then so when I have them plan it, because we all should be planning on a good solid foundation.
Right.
And so then when I have them do their trees are connected. So one tree is covering the other tree.
Right.
Okay. And so when I have them do it, I tell the husband, you make your tree first, and then she puts her tree. She can put her tree as close to yours as she wants to, or as far under hers as she wants to. But the idea is for his tree to cover hers. So his
Always
tree,
be. 'Cause he's her covenant.
he's her covering.
Right.
And so during this process, it's crazy because I've done this a couple of times. The wives are always telling, why do I got to be under him? Why can't I be connected with him? And I'm like, don't you want to be covered? Don't you want protection? And you kind of have to help them understand the reasoning behind women needing a covering.
Because a lot of the times we're just kind of like floating through life, not to say that we're dumb and we don't know what to do,
Right.
but sometimes I think we're a little bit, we use our heart a
Right.
lot, and we kind of follow our heart and
Mm-hmm.
what makes us feel good. Well, men are more logical, and they have a heart, but they also have a mindset to say, hey, stop, this ain't safe. And so we need that a lot of the times to kind of help us in
Right.
those areas. And so, they were very compliant, so they did the trees. And then, so after they do the trees, while the tree is drying, I have them draw like a river to represent the scripture that we are planted by the rivers of water, where our leaves should not wither, and everything we do will prosper.
Right.
And so then I teach them how to do the leaves. And when I tell them to do the leaves, I give them an option that as a husband and a wife, the option is to put leaves on your tree. Fill your tree according to how you see yourself today, or how you would like to see yourself as a married couple in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is going to go on your wall, and every time you walk past this is either going to remind you of who you are and the work you need to do to get to where you need to be,
Right.
or it's going to show you where you need to be, and you're going to always be reminded that this is what we can be.
Right.
But it's up to you from where you are now to say, okay, this is how I want to do this today.
Right.
And usually it depends on where I am. But if they have children, I usually tell them to make the tree, with the children, the little trees, the little
Right.
sprouts under,
Right.
or whatever. But a lot of the times I have to be careful as to who I'm dealing with. I have to get to know some people, because people have been through some tough things,
Right.
where they've lost children or they're not able to have children and things like that. So I'm sensitive to that as well, because a lot of the times, you want it to be a happy experience. You don't want them to have this experience where they're thinking about, loss during
Right.
that whole time. But then you do have sometimes where you have to bring that out. And I usually do that in a session where that's what we're dealing with.
Right.
But that's where where my tree stuff started.
Okay.
And then when I made this tree, it started off with the eye.
Right.
I wanted to find out how to create how to make an eye. Could I make an eye look realistic?
Right.
And so that's what I did. I made the eye, and then the tear came from the eye,
Okay.
and then I started drawing the tree, and of course the sun was there, and I started drawing the tree, and the tree was all black.
Right.
And a couple of days I kept coming back to this tree and looking at it. It just looked kind of like dark and weary.
Right.
And so, and it's funny how when Carl just said earlier how it looks spooky, but it looks cool.
Right.
So this is the cool part of it, is because when I looked at the picture and I said, wow, it would be cool if that teardrop could bring this tree back to life.
I was just thinking that in my head, because I see the teardrop, and I see the teardrop falling on the green grass.
Yes.
And then and then it's almost going to get to the other part
And
of the
it's
other grass
creating.
that's not really
That's right.
there, or it could have been the teardrop splash.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But
Well, actually, the teardrop did. It went down into the ground, and it put life. It brought life back to the soil.
Right.
And see, a lot of the times, we go around in life and we plant seeds in all kind of ways, where we're donating money, giving good advice, just giving a listening ear. Those are seeds that we're planting in life, in somebody's life. And sometimes we're not planting in really good ground. And we have to give life so that ground can come to life, because a lot of us have the power to do that. We have the anointing in us to bring life.
Right.
And so that's what that tear did. That tear, it went down into the ground, and it brought life to that tree. And not only did it bring life to the tree, when the tree started coming back to life,
Yeah, I
it
see a
started
little
creating
green-
life around it.
see a little
So it
green
was
leaf on the tree,
exactly. So
right.
it started to spread, because that's what it should do. That's what life and love should
Right.
do. It should go in and it should spread. So that's kind of like how that all came to life.
It's a very powerful painting,
Yeah.
and a lot of people can take from it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And you know how they say that the tree of life, this can be the tear of life.
Yes.
Or it can be God is crying about what's going on in the world.
And that's another
And he want to
thing.
shed his tear and let everybody know.
I had
he said,
somebody
like-
buy a copy of it, and the reason why I know she bought it, because she loves Prince, and I think it reminded her of Prince because it kind of had that kind of feel. But I had another person who was interested in, that's the same thing that she said, that she felt like it was God looking down on us, like during because matter of fact, I think this painting came around around the same time as the riots and stuff this year. I think that happened around that time too, where it was just so much mess
There's just so
and
much
so
stuff
much
going on.
death and
Yeah.
so much stuff going on. And God does have the power, like through His love, to bring us back to life, because that's pretty much He gave His Son to die for us to bring us back to life, to give us life. And I pretty much just feel like that's where that came from, and so when you said earlier about, what I quoted on that price to keep it that way, I just want to first of all say thank you for that comment, and also to thank my friends for giving me the inspiration to really follow through with my worth, because when I tried to sell one of my first paintings, um, I was being asked by my friend Elisha how much I was going to uh, charge them for my painting. And while I was charging and telling her, oh, I don't know, it took me a long time to tell her because I didn't know what to say. And it was just a painting of these little bowls. It was like these little bowls floating in the water. And I actually gave a copy to Cauldron, yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so it was some three little bowls floating, and it just says blessings, I believe, on it, and it was really nice. And I only charged her, so I'll charge you $50. And her husband must have been listening in the background. I don't know, because he got on the phone. He was like, no, 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 no. What do you mean $50? And then so he ran me through this whole spiel about, what do you pay for your products and how much time do you take? And, he started doing like all this stuff and making me see,
Yeah.
Everything I was putting into this. And I'm like, I don't know, well, how much do you pay yourself? And I'm like, pay myself? I'm like, I'm just doing this, He's like,
Right.
no. He's like, no. And by the time I can't get the whole conversation out, but they were so encouraging to me that by the end of our conversation, that $50 went to $250 something dollars. And when he told me how much, this is how much it should be. After we went through this whole
Yeah,
spiel
how much you pay
and
for
how
your
much
paint.
and he went and he
Yeah.
said, this is how much you should charge for this painting. And I said, nobody gonna pay me that much for this painting.
Then it ain't for them.
And that's exactly what
That
he
painting
said.
ain't for them.
He said that painting is not for them. If
There
they
you
can't
go.
afford it, if they don't feel like that they want to
That's
pay
it.
that price, then it's not for them.
That's just it.
And I said, well, shoot. I said, well, when you find somebody who wants to give me that, let me know. He said, what's your Cash App? And they sent me the money right away.
There you go.
And what it did for me is I took that painting and I said, now I got to work on it some more. Because I wanted to make sure that if they were buying that painting for that much, I need to make sure the ends was right, the sides was right. I went back into that painting and started trying to perfect the little things that I saw that, I was like, okay, this has to be worth it for me.
Yeah.
And so I actually tried to, put a little bit more into it.
But that's not even what they wanted. Huh?
That's not what they wanted.
Exactly.
But what they did was they instilled in me,
Right.
That you really have to be mindful. It's not just paint you're throwing on the canvas. Somebody's going to want this, and it's going to be a blessing to somebody. It's going to help them. And not only do you have to value your worth, but you need to value the worth of your clients as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Well, I was just given the 3-minute wrap-up
Okay.
sign. So what I want you to do for the next 3 minutes to let people know how they can get in touch with you and any of the art that they've seen here today, where they can go, give them your Cash App, or how they can get in touch with you to get one of the paintings. So is there a name of the painting for this one? Because they can just say the one with the eye.
No, there's the eye painting, because I have
Okay.
not given that one a name.
Okay, so we know this one is the ducks.
The ducks.
We know that's the Kobe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we know this one here is the San Francisco 49ers. The other one was the Black
Lives Matter, the rainbow, the
rainbow, and the strengthening.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, and the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just let everybody know, and what we'll do is we'll set all the pictures up,
Okay.
and we'll take a picture of it, and that'll pop up at the end of the show. And then at the end of the show, you can let everybody know. You give Carlton your information. He'll type all that in at the bottom. But you can also tell everybody how they can get in touch with you if they want you to do a paint party, if they want you to do all the stuff that you talked about. Just let them know how they can get in touch with you, all your contacts, and just how somebody can get in touch with you.
Okay.
But and this is what I say to everyone: a lot of people want to give all of their contacts, all of their this, all of their that. And this one lady I was interviewing, she gave me like 3 different connections. right? And as she's talking, the director's in there, and he's looking up what she's saying, and two of the information she gave me wasn't even existing.
Right.
So just give us the exact stuff.
I got you.
So they're gonna like, oh, I went there, but I didn't get nothing.
I got you.
So let's go. We're gonna go with this camera right here.
Okay, so number one, my Instagram is Cherie Antoinette Art _ 24/7. You can reach me there or DM me there. I also have a website that is under construction, but you can sign up so that you can get future for when it comes up. That website is From Caterpillars to Butterflies. That's FROMCATERPILLARS with the number 2.
Okay.
Butterflies, BUTTERFLIES.com. So that is my website, and then like I said, it's under construction, but it is there. Also, you can reach me at Facebook at Playin in Paint, PLAYIN Paint, PAINT. And that's pretty much where you can find me. You can DM me, message me, and we can set up a consultation. I do paint parties. I actually do paintings. And I also do goal setting classes, and I have my book as well. And my book is also
How to get in touch with your book? How to get your book?
so my book is Gifted on Purpose, Purpose for God, and it is on Amazon.com. The book through me is $20, and you will get it signed. On Amazon, you may get a sale, but you won't get it signed.
Right.
Unless you come see me. And that's pretty much where I am.
That's it.
Oh, and we did talk about that. So my name is Cherie Ford. My art name is Cherie Antoinette.
There you go.
And we got that only because, I had to put a stamp on who I am.
That's
I belong to my husband, but I belong to God, and I have a gift, and this is who I am.
All right. That's it. That's perfect.
That's it.
That's it. So, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. You've seen her art. You have her contact. And she does painting classes. So please, get with her. Bring her over for a paint party.
Yes.
Or you can even bring her over for a bridal shower party.
There you go.
never know. You just, whatever you can do. But first of all, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. And remember, don't ever share your 8x10 dream with somebody with a 5x7 mind.
Ooh,
My name is Raheem Mitchell. I'll see you next week. God bless. Peace.
Let's talk about it, talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That girl from LA